Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at another one of these basic figures, and it is one that I think is very highly anticipated by most, and easily a very highly anticipated figure by myself, because this is the basic Spinosaurus. You can see I have it on its side because the packaging is so large that once I stand it up, it kind of disappears from frame. But I guess we'll stand it up for a minute just to take a look at the actual packaging. You can see it does say Spinosaurus down there at the bottom. You've got Velociraptor Blue and Owen right there, staring at us like we've done something wrong by buying this. Then we've got the Jurassic World logo right there. And then we have a sneak peek of our Spinosaurus right there. Cannot wait to get this out and take a look at it. On the side, we've got an image of the Spino there, along with showing us that we have to connect the tail and then stating Spinosaurus there. And then the other figures in the line, which I also have that Proceratosaurus right there to review. We've got Owen, who we've had before. I don't think there's anything new with him. Blue, we've also had before. And then, of course, this Spinosaurus right there. And then another image over here on the side of the Spino itself. The packaging has a very nice new look to it. It doesn't actually say Primal Attack or anything on it, but it's still awesome regardless, and I am so psyched to get a hold of this and open it up. It's been very hard to get a hold of on Amazon. It went up for order, and then as quickly as it did, it disappeared, and I was lucky enough to stumble upon it the other day when it was actually still for sale and had popped back up again. So I placed an order for it immediately, and I am now happy to get this out of the package. More than happy to take a look at this in person. So let's break it out of the box and take a look at it. So here is our Spino. Here is our Spino's tail. We have to then put the Spino's tail in, snap it in, and there is our complete Spino. And one thing I can say straight away is that the tail is actually significantly longer on this one than we saw on the actual larger legacy versions, which is really cool because I think it gives it a much more accurate appearance as far as the overall proportions of the figure go. The sail is again still a little bit too small for sure, you can see that straight away. But as far as the tail length goes, it might not be quite as long as it should be, but I really feel like it is very close and much closer than the larger Spinosaurus figures were. I think that overall at first glance this thing looks incredible, and I am beyond psyched to take a look at it up close, so let's do that right now. So starting up here at the head sculpt is just beautiful for sure. All that really nice Jurassic Park 3 style Spinosaurus sculpt that you would expect to find is all really nicely present, along with the very nice reddish coloration there on the face, a beautiful green eye like you do see on the Spino. The actual slit in the eye is the same reddish coloration that you see behind it, not a black like you probably should see, but regardless, I don't think that takes away from the figure at all. And we know that this is a basic figure, so the paint is going to be just that basic. But I really think that it's actually quite decent as far as the paint goes compared to most basic figures. You've got the teeth sculpted out really nicely, given a beautiful gloss. They kind of appear to have been painted with a darker gray than the rest of the body. It does appear to kind of stand out a little more than what you see overall on the body, but you can definitely take note to the fact that it does have a gloss coat included to help make it shine pretty realistically. Unfortunately, they didn't actually paint the teeth white or anything. I really would have liked that, but I guess if you really wanted to, you could probably do that yourself. Very nicely sculpted out nostrils up there. I think the overall proportions of the head are pretty much spot on to a Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. All the really nice skin texture is beautifully present all over the figure. Both sides look fantastic. The eye appears to be painted pretty nicely over here. Yeah, pretty much spot on both sides, so that's very nice to see. Once we lead back into the neck, you can see that very large Spinosaurus scaling start to show up. The very beautiful scaling and skin texture up here to the spinal column of the animal. Some nice skin folding and skin wrinkling here in the throat region. Beautiful detailing even on the underside of the jaw as well. Once you get back here to the stomach region, you can see that that whitish coloration, that is kind of the trademark of the Spino, does run to about here, which it does in the films as well. And you can see the skin texture looks very similar to the previous legacy version of the Spino, and the battle damage version definitely has the same type of sculpt overall as far as the scaling goes, and I think it looks incredible on this as well. You can also see the ribs in the stomach region of the animal. Immensely muscular arms right here. You could just see ridiculous amounts of muscle definition. Very nicely sculpted hands as we move down into the hands. The nails once again are similar to the teeth, where they have a gloss and appear to be a darker gray, sort of, but I don't really know that they are. I think the gloss just kind of makes them look that way. Once you come up to the sail here, you can see the sail also sports some incredible detail and has a few different color variations. You've got like a grayish color here that then transitions to a nice white ring, and then the red that runs over the top of the sail. I really think that the paint app on this is really quite nice in comparison to most basic figures. Beautiful musculature here in the thigh, nice muscle definition for sure, nice defined calf muscle also, some really nice skin folding going on there in the joint of the leg and the back of the knee. Very beautiful Spinosaurus foot sculpt right there. The nails are given a gloss just like the hands and the teeth. It does seem you've got the very nice dew claw over there as well. A few skin wrinkles and everything right here in this general vicinity. Very nice osteoderms here and there on the Spinosaurus. And then we run out the length of the tail and you can see the incredible skin texture continues the whole way out. Beautiful detailing on the underside and the upper side of this figure. It honestly looks incredible for being a basic figure all over the place. The opposing side here, you're pretty much going to find the same thing because there's not really too much as far as difference in a Mattel sculpt when you look at one side as opposed to the other. But I think that is really definitely a good thing because you're going to find that both sides look phenomenal, and that is definitely what I see here on this basic Spinosaurus. It is just absolutely awesome. I am so psyched about this. As far as articulation goes, we've got the articulation in the arms, the articulation in the legs, swivel for the ankle, and then articulation in the tail. Doesn't swivel, but it does move all over the place. And that's it. Again, they are basic figures. You're not going to find too much articulation in them. One of the reasons a lot of people have a dislike for them is the fact that you don't have an articulated jaw or anything. And primarily they have very basic articulation, but honestly they're called basic figures for a reason, so you're not going to have too much going on. This one is also a lot smaller than the actual battle damage and legacy version of the Spinosaurus. So for a size, from the tail to the snout, you're looking at about 14 inches or about 36 centimeters, and for a height to the top of the sail, about 6¼ inches or 16 centimeters, and to the top of the head, just under 5 inches or about 12.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon next to our basic Spinosaurus, and you can definitely see next to these figures that it is really quite nicely sized. Again, the basic figures are usually quite big, but as far as a Spinosaurus goes, it's a lot smaller. The actual regular Spinosaurus will probably be up here somewhere as far as a height, so I don't actually have my Spinos here, unfortunately, to review, as they are long packed away in storage, and the storage area is a total disaster, as there is a lot going on currently in the storage area. But you can definitely see next to these figures, especially the Mattel ones, as this is another Mattel figure. Next to these figures down here, you should, without question, have an idea of the size of the figure. It really quite nicely makes a juvenile Spinosaurus, to be honest. That's a very cool aspect that you could go with if you do in fact purchase this Spino, but it is definitely a really nice size. So this new Mattel basic Spinosaurus is just awesome. I am so psyched about it. I really want to rebuy another one and give it the actual nice paint application that it deserves. But even being a basic figure, the paint on this is actually pretty decent. It's not anything over the top, it's nothing crazy, but it's honestly not too far off from what we saw on the actual legacy version, and it is super exciting now for anyone in the United States to have the possibility of owning a decently sized Spinosaurus from the Mattel line with the legacy paint, because the actual legacy version was so hit or miss at Target, and then we got the battle damage version, which was also kind of now hit or miss. It's disappeared pretty much off the face of the earth as well, aside from a few Walmart stores. And then you also have the Mini, which did have the JP3 paint scheme, but I really thought it was kind of a crummy figure as far as the Mini Spinosaurus went. But this one is really nice. The paint application, again, isn't crazy, but it's definitely good. It is without question what you would need for this to really look quite nicely like a toy version of the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. There's no real sloppiness on the paint anywhere either. The eyes are really nicely placed. All of the paint apps look to be the perfect tones of color in comparison to what the film version of the dinosaur looked like. The sculpt is phenomenal, as always when it comes to a Mattel Spinosaurus. I really think that all the wonderful detail of the figure is beautifully present, and they nailed it every single time they've released a Spinosaurus, except for the Mini. Without question, as far as what the JP3 Spino looks like, I think they continuously do a great job on the sculpts. And as far as the Mattel line goes in general, we really have never gotten a JP toy company that has continuously made spot-on sculpts the way Mattel does, so kudos to Mattel for that, and kudos to them for releasing this incredibly awesome basic Spinosaurus. Again, not everybody's going to like the basic figures because of the lack of articulation, but I think that this thing is just phenomenal, off the charts awesome, and at only $10, it is a steal as far as a beautiful Spinosaurus based on the Jurassic Park 3 version goes. So if you want to pick this up, I will include a link in the description to where you can purchase this on Amazon. Again, I don't know if it's in stock currently because it's been just in and out of stock over the past few weeks and I was missing it every single time, but luckily I was able to acquire it just a few days ago and had it shipped to me immediately with Amazon Prime, so it got here really quickly, and now that I have it in person, I really want to buy another one just to repaint, so make sure you check the description. Maybe you can score one of these awesome basic Spinosaurus figures for yourself, but before you do that, don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.